Geo here. As I was editing this video or the stream that we had, you know, about a few days ago, I was editing the stream. I just want to come off here to tell you guys that one, I don't mean any harm when I'm making this video, especially to Christians and people who believe. I'm a believer myself, you feel me? But I like to call myself a Christian in practice than a Christian that's dedicated to the Bible and all of that. What I try to do is implement what I've learned from my good Christian household into society and do the best that I can to be a righteous man and follow God's words. Now, I'm going to say this again. This is not to offend anybody's religion or none of that. And yeah, it's going to be pretty controversial, but I'm just keeping it real and talking how I see things right now. If you like the video, leave a like and subscribe. Thank you. Now, look at this,
Our
bro.
church to test to see if they would help feed a starving baby. And right now I'm calling Cathedral of the Rockies in Boise, Idaho. So let's see if they would help.
Look how big their church is. Let's just say, look how big their church is, right?
Mhm.
It's a pretty big church, right?
Mhm.
Now,
Feed
now
a
look at how
starving
they
baby.
respond.
Thank you for calling Cathedral of the Rockies. If you have an extension number, you can enter it at any time during this message. Otherwise, you can press 1 to reach the main reception desks, press 2 if you are in need of pastoral care, or press 3 if you'd like to reach our Amity campus located at 4464.
Let's just do one.
Good morning, Cathedral of the Rockies. This is Gail. How may I help you?
Hey, yeah. I don't know if y'all can help or not, but I was just curious if y'all could help with like a can of formula, like baby formula.
Boy, I don't see any back in our closet. We do have diapers, but we don't have formula.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is there any way y'all could get just like a small can of baby formula?
Not that I'm aware of. No, sweetie. Sorry.
Okay, because like I have a 2-month-old and she's been without since like last night, and I've been calling everywhere, and they're just telling me to call churches.
Yeah. Oh, golly, I'm sorry. Trying to think. Um, yeah, I just was back there looking at the diapers and wipes and things, and I didn't see any formula. But you know what? I know this isn't going to help you today, but I will put in a request for some, and hopefully somebody will step up and get us some.
Like that's just a base of it, and not just that. She also called like black churches,
Mhm.
and more than 50% of all black churches helped her. Say they would help. I
Yeah, I know they do, bro. I grew up black churches, like my black church. We always did community work. We'd always go walk out, feed homeless people. Always goes to missions, literally all the time. Like, and that's why I'm saying like a lot of these, I'm gonna say evangelical churches, these big churches, churches that literally you will see these. You can turn on and find them on TV. They'll be broadcasting their services or their church service. But a lot of these is like, what's the point of the church if it's not going to help the community? Like, I feel like that's the one
what
thing
you gotta
it should be doing.
what you gotta ask is what are they doing with the money?
Oh, we know what they're doing with
Because
the money,
these
man.
churches,
You know what
these
they're doing it
churches,
with the
they get
money,
a
bro. You walk by, you see the pastor pull up in a motherfucker Hellcat. You know what he doing with that money, man. You see him pull up in a BMW. You know what he doing with that? Where that money going, bruh?
how's the pastor living better than me and he's taking my donation?
You
Bro,
know
I'm living
exactly
in a
where he going,
60K
bruh.
apartment, bro. I'm donating like $100 each sermon, bro. And this bro is living in a mansion, bro. BMW, probably two or three BMW, and probably a Benz too.
Mm-hmm.
His family's living good. He's probably grossing in probably like 300K a year or more, and
Okay,
he's living a good
great.
life.
living
and
great.
I'm struggling. I'm giving my money, bro. The what?
Yeah,
The what?
I think
Because
there's all that one story of a pastor who like scammed his church into doing crypto, doing a crypto scam, and he rugged and pulled out and like hit it big, but scammed all his church members. And it'd be like
mm-mm,
situations like this, this ain't nothing new. We've seen this. We've seen church take advantage.
mm-mm.
We've seen it not even just recently. We see this all throughout history. Even back then during
Bro,
the
and they talk so bad of Muslim and mosque and like that, bro. You go to any like mosque, bro, they're helping their community, bro. They're helping the people out. It's a brotherhood, bro. Like you feel me?
mm-hmm,
Like they look out for each other. Like they help each other's kids go to school and all that, bro. I I've know a few mosques and whatever, bro. Like sure they say their prayers and they're very strict with whatever they do, but like once you're in there, bro, you're a family.
mm-hmm,
No man struggles under
mm-hmm,
that. You feel me? And when it get to the point when these Protestant church and these Orthodox and these what would you call them
uh
churches
I mean this one I had said evangelical because I feel like all those churches are
and
evangelical
evangelical
Christians.
churches and these Catholic and these like churches, like it just seems like a all one big play, bro. I've been to a couple, bro. Like they're just talking, bro. They just talking the talk.
Mm-hmm,
They ain't doing nothing that really help out. But when they bring that basket around, don't put money in it and see how they look at you.
mm-hmm,
Like that's the biggest thing. Like I don't get, bro. Like you feel me? Like I don't get that.
mm-hmm,
This is why personally me, I stopped going to churches because it's like it all seems like a facade. I'm going through there, see people talking about God and all that, and behind closed door they're talking about their neighbors. They're talking about people, whatever, judging them and all that crap, bro.
mm-hmm,
Like, aren't you somebody of God? Like, aren't you supposed to be like forgiven
mm-hmm.
and like and all of that, bro? Like, I don't get that. That's the one thing I don't get. That's why I separated myself from the church and I started looking into my own faith and trying to make a connection with God by myself. You feel me?
I'm
Instead
the
of
same way.
going to church every day, every week, or whatever, just for what? I'm sacrificing my time, all of this, give the Lord praise. And truly, God said, if you wanted to seek Him, you can seek Him yourself.
Mm-hmm,
You don't need to go to church.
mm-hmm.
If I go to church for guidance. If I'm lost, if I don't understand something in the Bible, that's the only reason I go to church.
Exactly. That's like that's actually the main reason you should be going to church is if you don't understand the Bible. I feel like a lot of people go to church and think it's like supposed to get them more connected with God, Jesus, but that's not the case. That's something you do on your own time.
Oh, bro, you gotta find connection with God on your own, bro. I'll be so honest with you. I'm not gonna force you into my religion. I'm not gonna force this upon you, bro. If you want to find God, you can find God yourself. But if you need help finding God, then I'll tell you to go to church, bro.
Mm-hmm.
But once you've established that help or that connection with Him, you can do all you can do by yourself with God. Just have a nice little prayer. Learn to pray. The moment I learned to pray, I just didn't feel it anymore like I needed
You
to.
know what? You brought up a
I'd be
good
like,
point. You brought up a good point with this whole Christianity thing, because I've been wanting to talk about this myself too. How many people do you think use Christianity as some sort of like shield or some sort of like way to basically make them seem more, I guess, good or Christ-like? Because I feel like I see, or at least I know a lot of people who like say they're Christians, say they believe in God, but like they've never picked up the Bible, they never read, they don't.
all right, I'm gonna say this. The first people that I don't trust from churches are Jehovah Witnesses, bro. Like I don't trust them at all.
Mm-hmm,
Like there's just something about them that I don't like about Jehovah Witnesses. Like sure they go door to door and they disturb you and all that. Like I don't do that because like each Jehovah Witness church or whatever of some sort, they're competing against each other. That's the one thing I noticed. They're
mm-hmm,
competing. They will literally tell you, no, don't go to that church. Come to my church. Like, what? I go to whatever church is closest to me. Don't
mm-hmm,
tell me what church I can't go. If it's a place of God, I can go to any place of God and seek God. You feel me?
Mm-hmm.
That's one thing. Two, basically all MAGA church that I've seen is crazy. How you gonna get up on here talking about pro-life and all that crap, and you people ain't even helping the kids? How
Mm-hmm.
you gonna get up on here talking about how God left everybody, but you're kicking that one gay person out?
Mm-hmm.
Make it make sense, bro. They just use this as a tool to politically get whatever they want. MAGA
Mm-hmm.
churches is one. Catholic churches, I'm gonna say the other because most Catholic church they have a history of pedophiles and people essaying people and all that crap. And this dude is like the highest of ranks.
Mm-hmm.
And people would literally keep quiet and don't say anything what they're doing behind closed door. And there's people who even know what's going on and they they don't say anything, and they catch them every single day Sunday saying the prayers and acting all high and mighty like the Holy Spirit is in them or whatever, bro. Like I don't see this, bro. And some
Mm-hmm.
of the most like the nastiest people I've seen are church people.
Mm-hmm.
Like what? You are completely a bad human being outside of church. The only time I see you acting good is in church. And wait behind closed door. They talking crap about everybody in that church.
Yep.
Yeah, they definitely use it as a tool, as a way to do whatever they want to do to push their agenda.
Yeah. That's my problem. My problem with people who try to claim Christianity. I don't have a problem if you are Christian. I just don't like it if you try to claim Christianity, but you don't even they don't even have any historical knowledge about who Jesus was, who Moses was. Moses being like the first, what, disciple or apostle in the Bible. Moses was also like the first person to actually write in the Bible. And like all these people who later come after him are people who wrote the Bible, who wrote what they saw. But these people don't even be having any knowledge about those time frames. They don't even know where most of this stories be even taking place in like the Middle East. The fact that
Look,
Jesus is seen as like a white person, even though this would have been taking place in the Middle East.
I'm gonna say this too. I was 8 years old when I started questioning like these churches, and I remember this day pretty much very clear because I was 8 years old and my granny was saying I need to go to church, and I was just like, Granny, why are we doing that? All these people talk like bad about us and all that crap. Why are we still like making the effort to go to church? And she was basically trying to convince me and tell me that how they didn't really mean that or whatever, bro. Like, bro, I came from struggle, bro. I used to step up in church with like old church clothes and all that, and they used to look at me weird, different, and all that. Like, he can't afford good clothes. Oh, oh, they here comes them again. Ah, that they just looking bad. Like, you feel me? Like I've
Mm-hmm.
been noticing this, bro. Like for the longest, that's why I say I'm a Christian in practice and in faith. Like I'm not a churchy guy. I'm not gonna look. There's people who study the Bible, and there's people who actually believe and practice the faith. You know, like I feel like we have a lot of people who just study the Bible.
Mm-hmm.
That's all they do: study the Bible and try to live by the Bible. But I think God is bigger than the Bible. The
Mm-hmm.
Bible was written by a man. You feel me?
Mm-hmm.
Like the Bible, sure, it helps you align yourself with faith, but it's meant to be interpreted in whatever way, in whatever time that you're living in, to try to make the best. It's kind of like a compass. It's a way of to guide you in life,
Mm-hmm.
not for you to follow rule by rule, step by step. If you think about this, Bible was wrote thousands of years ago.
Mm-hmm.
You can't take something that was written thousands of years ago and try to implement it in our society right now as we speak. Times have changed. It's different.
Mm-hmm.
That's why you take the Bible up for interpretation and try to see how your like lifestyle is right now and try to see what you can do to make your life better. It's a compass, nothing more. It's a moral compass. That's all it is. It's not something that you have to follow down to a T. No, it's not that. It basically tells you about the person above, the higher being that made us. And it tries to show you what you can do in life to connect with that person. That's all it's meant for you to do. I hate Christians who live by the book. You feel me? That's why I hate that because, bro, how you gonna tell me to live my life about something that's thousands of years ago? No, bro. We can't uphold those standards in our society as we speak right now because it's literally impossible. Things that were invented there, and we have new invention, we have new ways, we have new discovery, we have new science, we have new things. And you know what they all just say? They write off all the new things as the devil so
Mm-hmm.
that you can't move forward in life. Oh, you're on the internet? That's the devil. Oh, you're doing this? That's the devil. Oh, you're trying to do this? Oh, that's the devil's work.
I
Oh,
couldn't
you're
agree.
worshiping
I
demons.
couldn't agree more. I couldn't
Hate
agree
that.
more, because the Bible was written in a time where, and be honest, you can say this about any book, historical book, every book that's going to be written at any time and point is only going to be shaped around what is happening in the political climate, what is happening economically, what is happening climately, or climate, what the climate is, what the weather is always going to be shaped around its surroundings. And one thing I would like to point out was when I was like being raised, my mom didn't want like my brothers or sisters to get like tattoos because in the Bible it states that that's like a sin, like marking your body. And I bring up the point that people reading the Bible and having the historical knowledge about it, because in this specific sense, this was happening around the time when there were other worshippers of different gods who would mark their body, who would literally like cut their skin to basically associate that that was their faith was in a different god. And God basically said, do not mark your body as an attempt to separate yourself from those believers. Not because it was bad, but because in that current time, at that current political system, marking your bodies was a way to represent that you were a follower of a different faith. But people still would look at that
Yeah,
and be
yeah.
like, "Oh well, I just can't get tattoos because the Bible says not to," which I would disagree with. The Bible doesn't say anything about tattoos. Tattoos of
It,
today are not a thing back then, right?
it's their political. It's just their where it's their agenda. Basically, they're forcing their decision, their way of interpreting the Bible. Everybody interprets the Bible a different way. This is where I'm gonna start off saying, what I
Mm-hmm.
think everybody interprets the Bible in a different way. Sure, your interpretation of the Bible might be different than somebody else. That doesn't mean that you have to force your way of interpreting the Bible onto somebody else. If you think that getting a tattoo or doing these things or doing any other thing is gonna bring you away from God, don't do it. But if somebody else who's more grounded with their faith and they know what they know and they this is what they do, you feel me? Like you can't tell them, oh, if you do this, you're a sinner.
Mm-hmm.
Bro, what I believe the truest thing for you to live by is the Ten Commandments. That it's some like those rules are meant to withstand the changes in time, the changes in everything that we have. Thou shalt not steal, thou shalt not do this. And if you look at all these things, the Ten Commandments are basically telling you what to do to get along with other people in your society. That's all it's telling you. It's not telling you to do this, not do that. When somebody says not don't steal, why did it tell you not to steal? Because if you get caught stealing, you can go to jail. You can have this, boom, boom, that. When somebody said thou shalt not lie, they're basically telling you, look, don't lie to your neighbors. Don't lie to your neighbors. When somebody say thou shalt not sleep with another man's wife or whatever, it's telling you, look, don't do this because this is a bad thing. It's basically help for you to fit in, for
Mm-hmm.
us to have a good harmony community, like you feel me, like a utopia. This is
Mm-hmm.
what the Ten Commandments were made for, and I think that's the truest rules. And that's the Ten Commandments is what I live by. You feel me?
Mm-hmm.
Love thy neighbor like you love yourself. You feel me? Like stuff like that. Like it's just it's meant to help you have a good life. Those commandments make you see life different and help you get along with your neighbors, which is all what God was. Like
Mm-hmm.
when Jesus came, when Jesus came, what's the first thing that he started practicing? The commandments. Why? Why? Jesus, I'm not sure of all of this, but I'm pretty sure Jesus wasn't following the book by a T. wasn't following the Bible by a T. He
Mm-hmm.
didn't do everything by the T because he know that what God wanted him to do was unite people, bring them together, make them see that, hey, you don't have to hate. This is love. Help your neighbors. You feel me? Let's have a
Mm-hmm.
harmony. I feel that's how we conquer evil. We conquer evil and evil people by following the commandments. And if you look at that, bro, these rules are going to withstand all of time because they're meant to be interpreted. And you can apply those rules to anything in your life. That's why I follow the Ten Commandments. I don't follow it because I think it's wrong. I think it's right. I think I follow the commandments because after sitting down, taking a long look at it, it only helps the person who is following that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree. I agree with you. And I think it's really hard, like low key, I don't hate Christians because I grew up in a Christian family and I knew there are good Christians out there, but like a lot of them
I don't
do
hate them either.
use
Yeah, I
that
don't hate.
a lot of them do use that as a shield or a way to feel morally superior than others. And they don't actually try to change or better their ways. But we can close off on that discussion.